Poetry is much more than words on a page to me. Poetry has become a part of me. The way the words flow in a beautifully written piece, smooth movements and mixed emotions perfectly describe me. From Shakespeare to Langston Hughes, from hip-hop to rhythm and blues, poetry has always been there for me. And now I know it's what makes me me.
What is it good for? Love. Poetry is love. It's the love you feel when you can't feel from above. It's the love you feel when you can't pour your heart out to a person, but to a paper. A paper that lives with you, dies with you, and cries with you. A little paper that just listens and understands your pains, trials, and tribulations. Each stroke of that powerful pen understands that fatherless child. That eraser kills the mistakes made by the people that hurt you. Once you go back into that cruel world of pain, you can return to your own reality. The reality of love. The reality of poetry.
The title of my poem is What is Poetry? It's a type of music without instrumentation, rhythmic information spread from nation to nation. People from China and Russia, and even those who are Haitian, all use pen and paper for this dynamic creation. It describes times of great joy or times of great blues, systematically arranged in couplets, tankas, haikus. Hell, even an acrostic poem can deliver great news. It explains how we feel, our emotions and notions, while personifying nature from the trees to the oceans. It describes how love feels like a magical potion and how other times it hurts when forced into motion. It addresses relationships, the birds and the bees, of how the pretty woman's strut leaves men weak in the knees, increasing body temperature a couple degrees. It says roses are red and that violets are blue. It says what people have gone through and the things they will do. What is poetry, you ask? Well, poetry is you.
This thing here that I cannot grasp at, that is not tangible, that happens to slip through the wrinkles of my brain only about once a month, this inconsistent miracle has saved me. It gives me sanity here. Here, in all of the heartbreaks and breakups and broken homes, this seals up the cracks, cementing over about a decade of insecurities and unanswerables. This language of royalty, this currency of muses that fuses together the cleverness of the mind and the earnestness of the heart, this thing has graced my lips a couple of times, blessed me with kisses a couple of times, and has moved like a runaway train through the veins, coursing from the soul. This thing, poetry, holds me together, gluing me down to whatever values that remain here, sticks them to my ribs, guarding the heart, all the tools that I've used, the pens and pencils that have become hammer and nails, crucifying myself here. This thing, this poetry is like resurrection day.
Basically, this piece is about poetry, however I put it in the form of a woman.
Go for it.
I leave her time and time again because they don't see her in my future. Every time I do, she calls me back, telling me that she needs me. The feeling's mutual. This feeling's crucial, never neutral. What they lack is drive. She gives me this knowing that in due time the world will be mine. And if not they minds, they ears at least. It's funny the cadences in her voice don't got my knees weak, though my mind's free, though I'm constantly paying homage to all the figures that have shaped them. They're probably the reason she has me writing these lyrics down on paper, praying one day I put word to instrumental for her honor. Though I probably won't, mainly cause these clothes, they ain't designer. I ain't got gas up in my tank, no foreign whip to switch those lanes, no 20 or 30 girls that might be down to scream my name, so what's the point, man? Just a walking disappointment. The hip-hop thought I was sick, couldn't schedule doctor's appointment. So I'm back to working my 9-to-5 job, busting these tables. She gives me peace, but peace doesn't pay the electricity bill, the water bill, nor the cable. She gives me truth. I admire her honesty more than she'll ever know. She eliminates dark nights like UFO light shows. On these nights though, where I spill my love for her at random venues, she stares back at me. Big features like stone, never too sentimental. Cause as the lights fade and the mic and stages age, our story, our drama, our saga always continues.
We are savages, passionately parading around the fire pit like wolves. We are prophets, purging our passions into praise and fire, into pulpits, packing more than punchlines and weak rhymes, but we grind to remove the weaklings out of this art. Weak links have no part in this chain, no chattels, all anchored to stop the slave ships. We clink our tongues like keys in a state penitentiary. The dopeness we sling will set you free. Blind beggar against heaven's gates, or master of generations of slaves, or investor in concentration camps. We all need to taste either the food or the freedom. The flame we use to cook before we serve words, or the lamps we use so you can see them before you eat them is enlightenment. So we strike confinement like matches. This is our method of fighting it. It's crunch time and you're invited in. For you poetasters, you are all a waste of ink. So we eat to bring you to the brink of extinction. To the common people, we drink ambrosia and sink what we think like anchors into souls with the hope that they'll hold us when you hear it. But to the poetasters, feel our fist nuclear bomb the dinner table. We are ready to feast. Only beat we need is the heart of a hunted. We came for blood. This is no longer poetry, no longer chess to hip-hop, scotch, and box to. This ain't no game, no ring for rounds. It's Russian roulette in my net, but not let me catch you. Swimming in a race where you can't finish. My flow is rip, R.I.P. rip. Currently I am the cause of casualties and currency, casually killing complacency. Better learn to eat change like vending machines in casinos. Better believe we know how to force feed these ivory towers to the environment and prison. Self-recognition that you need our rescue mission. And while you digest those previous bars, let me digress. I redefine poet so I could be the paradigm. I spit more than your 2 cents and sentences paradigms. I'm on par with those that dominate the courtroom. I got the drive like I'm the Brown when I'm defending against faulty allegations that attempt to consume your honor. My people, don't let Pharaoh con us and tell us how religion is for pale skin. Jesus is bronze, and spec through mud for the blind, harder than nails, driving through hands, no need for braille, then all healing and revealing truth. Spoken word birth to unearthed worth forgotten by you. Your honor, my people, Notre Dames before they Notre Dames. Thomas and try to guide us into a future with slave suits they intend to mass produce for you. Capitalistic anacondas, swimming in your garden and swimming in your pool, trying to convince the fool that they don't bite, which is why I spit for change. So if you hear it when I'm walking, it's because I'm talking and telling you to move. We're more than your 2 feet, but your mind. No suicide doors and rims, but all drive. You are gems in the war and Darfur. No wills, but all will. No kill, but all switch the ignorance. This is an emergency. When I spit, you notice emerging seas out of the fog you've been living in. I spit them in half so you can walk through deliverance. Them Americans got you blunt and bold and slave mentality. I'm here to get rid of it. So finally, this promised land can seem more promising. You've been more powerless than your Amish friends, more lights out than the graveyard, but I am a savage here to ravish lies, and I am a prophet here to save y'all from that box of miscarriage lies. So from Saul to Paul, I am Dawn.